What's up, world? It's your boy back at you with another one. The Toothless Wonder on the Bamboozled Again News Network. Now, I meant to do this a couple days ago, but I was busy running around trying to, stay on my grizzy, while maintaining some semblance of balance, rest, reading, prayer, reflection, exercise, money-making endeavors, school, and I didn't even mean to go this route, but in the process of doing all that, I've noticed something. And I never wanted to be one of these guys who, get some, as they call it, motion or, get some financial whatever, and then I act like I'm better than people or, because, on my journey of growth, I realized I had a misplaced loyalty concept. If you ain't did nothing to me, why would I cut you off? And I'm not I've been through my various phases of life, up, down, whatever. But I don't really pick my friends, quote unquote, based on how well they're doing financially or what kind of social status they have. But in light of that, and then, going through this long, arduous journey of discovery and just understanding better the nuances of life, there's a saying that everybody can't go. And in my it seems like ain't nobody going. And I've noticed, especially within the past couple of weeks, because I'm not really that social in my personal life, even though I do have friends, colleagues, associates, so on and so forth. The few people who have been in my personal life or people that, I built a rapport with, that I work with, I either had to cut them off. I was either questioning their intentions and motives, or they just stopped talking to me. And I've heard people say it, but it's different when you experience it for yourself personally and be like, I see what they mean. And it's not that I'm a cutthroat guy. It's that you never really value what you don't earn. And because I've had to earn my peace, I've had to earn a certain skill set, I've had to earn a certain mentality, I had to earn a certain consistency. What's ultimately end up happening is I don't vibrate with people the same way who are still playing the victim, who are still making excuses. I rack my brain trying to figure stuff out. So anybody who's not really operating in that similar state, we're going to naturally repel, or eventually at some point we're just going to distance ourselves because of some type of circumstance. I had a partner of mine I started out with treatment. He's actually living here. He's from DC, but he's actually living in the small town that I currently reside in. And I've seen him a couple times, and I cut him off like summertime for the reason of, I'd quit working for ethical reasons. But I'm always working on myself. I'm always working on other endeavors. So I was able to maintain, so on and so forth. But I noticed when I quit, and he's in close proximity, to keep the brother uplifted, encouraged, he began to become a distraction, a hindrance, a nuisance. And right before I cut him off, is one last dish. After we had a real heart-to-heart. Well, I had a heart-to-heart. I'm going to do all the talking this time. And he made a statement that basically sealed the nail in the coffin. I still prayed on it. And then I went on ahead and, became the executioner. And he said, bro, I know I'm calling you too much. And that's where my brain stopped at. So I reviewed it after we got off the phone, just analyzing the conversation. And I said to myself, you consciously know you're doing something you shouldn't towards me and still do it? We got a problem. Now I'm wondering, well, at the time, before we had the conversation, I'm like, is he trying me? Like, I'll tell him, I'm doing this project between this time and this time. And then he would call me about nothing. Just small talk, right? And then I will remind him during this time, this is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Text me. He might, later the day, then he'll do it again. So, later on when I talk to him, when I feel like it, I will remind him, okay. Then he would do it again. So now it got me wondering, and this was my right-hand man at the time. Is he purposely trying me to see how much I'll put up with? Or because, and I don't understand this because I've never operated like this, but because he knows deep down he has no gusto left, the only good feeling energy he can get is by being able to contact someone and divert them from their primary purpose. You know what I mean? Like, okay, say I'm not like, okay, I am whoever I am, right? But I'm able to call Donald Trump whenever I want. Not about any business or anything of substance. I'm just calling him. And I know he's busy. I know, and he's shown that, you know, he'll get back to me. You know, he'll look out for me. He'll give me sound advice. He'll problem solve for me. And that was another aspect, because I'm more the solution-oriented guy, because I have to be. I think all men need that particular attribute or characteristic. And you would find yourself in various situations. And just as a friend, I would, you know, give him a suggestion that I know will work. But yet, the problem would still persist. And I had been to the point of, I don't think, like, what's the sense in talking? And the only reason I continued to do so was out of empathy, because I had been in a mental, emotional, spiritual space he had been in. Granted, I had to figure it out on my own. So I just got tired and said, this ain't going to be no quick fix. You know, I'm going to just have to, you know, pull myself up by my bootstraps. And after almost a year, I started to see some motion after almost 15 months. And then I just continued to grind. And then, you know, I got a job after 15 months, even though I went through like 2 job trainings and couldn't land a job in the training I went for, to move approximately 2 hours away to get a job that didn't need any of the skills that I went to training for. And I had to ride a bike 45 minutes to get there. One way. And then worked it where I would get there 45 minutes early. Did that. Then I ran that up about as much as I could. Then I took a calculated risk, quit. Then I ended up working in treatment. Had something financial I've been working on for over a year happen. And then I was able to do some of the things I had planned to do credit-wise, you know, my license, car, you know, just establishing legitimizing myself in the world, you know. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, like I said, we were side by side, and I'm just using him as an example. He did the polar opposite. He had breakthroughs, but because of his bitterness, victimhood, blame shifting, so on and so forth, he couldn't see the blessing as such and gave it away. And when he, not only did he give the blessing away, which is bad enough in and of itself, the blessing he gave away actually set him back further, leading to, you know, a set of circumstances in which, because of where I was working, I was able to get him into, you know, the treatment center, you know, try it again, try it somewhere different, you know, learn from your mistakes, da-da-da. So now he's closer to me, and he continued to not, I don't know, put forth any effort to fix his life. He's still caught up in, you know, the wife did this to me 20 years ago, and I said, cuz, you gotta let that go. I know it's hard, but what else are you gonna do? And just a lot of, you know, bad decision making in which he won't accept any semblance of personal responsibility. So I get tired of hearing it. And I used to do that. However, it didn't get me anywhere. So I just let it go. Why am I holding on to this? It serves me no purpose. To now, let's say some of the people who have, you know, did me wrong, so on and so forth. I'm still me, but I'm such a totally different individual. They don't even fool with me. I don't mean like they don't like me. It's like they know what they tried, and they know I know. I just took it on the chin and just tried to piece my life back together, and I'm still working on it. And these individuals, like, they won't look at me in my eyes. They, you know, and I've been forgave myself first, them. But again, I got enough sense not to fool with you no more. Because you did it once, you do it twice. unless you go through some type of spiritual awakening, such as I did, which, when people say that, I'm going through it, they think it's like you levitating off the ground and, the butterflies land on your head and all that. It's actually very vexing, to say the least. You'll actually feel like you're losing your mind. But as you go through the process, I become, and I'm still working on things, just a more whole being. But it just reminds me of just like everything from my past. And I had this epiphany earlier on. I'm like, all the stuff I did in my past, you mean tell me I can't hang my hat on none of it? No, because as I see now, none of it was beneficial then or now. People, places, or things, And I think that's part of it, the ability to cut off the identity that's attached to that person, place, or thing. Like, say, for instance, guys who come out of jail. You have to be one way in jail, right? To survive, do whatever you need to do. But ultimately what ends up happening is you get back in the real world where those laws or those ways of operating don't suffice. So then you're stuck between two worlds. Who I used to be and who I need to become to be better. And I think that's one of the hardest things for someone to do, is to sear that old identity attached to ego that fights to maintain its own survival, even though it's no longer useful. And like I'm really like I had females dealing with who ultimately end up relapsing for no odd reason. Had to cut her off. Not oh, you relapsed, oh, I can't fool with you no more. Like, I'll help you get some help because I dealt with you personally. But once I see what you're saying and what you're doing don't match up, you waste my time. And there's two things I'm a stickler for. Don't waste my time and don't insult my intelligence because you think you slick out the mouth, or whoever your mind is telling you that you are. And here's another thing about the ego. The ego won't allow you to perceive that others know my bullshit. Like, I got a partner of mine, and it's a running joke between our mutual friends. Like, none of us paying him mind because we know he lied bad. We just don't say nothing to him. We just trip off him. But he don't know that. He can't see that. And I don't know, I'm just, as the old folks say, just keep on keeping on. But that's a big thing, being able to cut off those old friends. I had one partner of mine, we used to drink together, whatever, and then, he see me again, and I stopped drinking, and then he see me again, I got a car, so he's like, man, I see you doing it, man, I'm proud of you, whoop, whoop, whoop. And then he had messed around and tried to, like, stab his daughter and got locked up for a period. So I support him, write him letters, whatever, he came home. So, of course, the Negro rule, we come home, bless him with a couple of dollars, get him a pack of cigarettes. But then, and, I show love here and there. But then I started noticing, which was the case, it's just now because I'm more sensitive to it. Every time you call me, you ask for something, and you're not going to pay me back. And you're not going to, like, darn, I know old man money, he ain't going to trip on it. But let me put him down with this move, or let me give him some information. Just know him, let him know I appreciate him. My name is not going to be on somebody else's phone as someone I can just get stuff from. But you don't call me on another time. You don't call me. We have just general good conversation, or you asking me. I'd rather you call me and ask, hey, cuz, what you think about this? Or because that leads me to believe you're solution oriented, or you're trying to find an answer. The reason why you're calling me and need something is because of a problem you refuse to address. That's not happening. And even with my old partner, like, my little heart is very empathetic, and I'll be like, man, maybe I should talk to him one last time. But I can't, and here's why. My spirit won't allow me to do so. My spirit get antagonized when I see him. Because he still has I see the puppy dog look in his eyes. I'd be, if I seen him frustrated, or like he walking with a purpose, or he was racking his brain trying to figure something out. It just looks to me as the defeated man. And I pray the Most High, because I've been through all the same stuff he's went through. And I just heard a video, I believe it was, what's my man name? Elijah, Baldhead brother. Man, I was listening to him all day yesterday, just catching up on his video, and oh, he was blessing me. Oh, I'm like, yeah, yeah. And you know, we'll say, I went through this, why did this go wrong? This, that, and the third, da da da. But here's the thing. The stuff I've gone through, I've overcome by the grace of God. The stuff I've gone through didn't kill me. You see what I'm saying? It could always be worse. So instead of, and I'm more inclined to look at, and I have my little bad moves here and there, but I'm more inclined to look into like, what do I have and how can I utilize it to over time put me in a better position? Not focus on what I don't have and then just sulk in that. You know what I mean? Because at the time when I started, I had a supportive mother and a functional brain. That was about it. And I used it to my benefit. Well, actually, my mother, you know, I just wanted to kind of go off and get myself together because she's always been supportive. But the way the Most High steered, like she's actually able to see my, you know, my character development, my mental maturity, my spirituality, you know. And I hurt for the bro, cause I mean, I imagine how depressing it was being purposelessness or lacking purpose. You know, just looking to get whatever you can get your hands on, living in scarcity, and you know, like I know this, like when you go through, it builds you up internally. Like now, I don't care, you know, I don't need social validation. I don't need nobody call me. I'm used to being, I've been forced, and it was vexing at first, I was forced to be my own best friend. I was forced to tell me what's in my best interest, even though I might want to do something for instant gratification. And it just leaves credence to this journey and wanting to continue on and continue to grow, continue to gain knowledge and wisdom, continue to attempt to gain tangible skill sets as a man. So I have value to me based on what I know, and I can be of value to others, not a burden on people. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they see Cal, oh, here he called, Lord. You know, no, man. Cal, oh, Snuck, we only, man, what's up, bro? You know what I mean? And be an inspiration, which I've always wanted to be, but it's not like I walk around like, you know, everybody need to listen to me and do, you know? But it's, as I like to routinely say, it's real in the battlefield. Especially when it comes to the people at the job. Because they just cut me off out of nowhere, which I don't care. And nobody told me anything. I just started noticing like people would unfriended me or whatever. But they're all within the same social grouping. So in my mind, if everybody decided to do the same thing, somebody put that into play. So somebody's putting some false in it. But I know what it is. It's because, you know, I quit again due to ethical reasons. And all the people that cut me off do the stuff that was unethical. And now they've come to discover that I know the depth of their indiscretions. And I guess they're, you know, for image part, they're afraid I'm going to expose them. I don't know, exposing themselves. Because again, the ego will have you thinking you so slick, can't nobody tell or nothing will happen to me. How this man who played nonchalant, how it get back to me, he know everything I did. And then because of who they are, they're thinking, well, what is he going to do with it? And out of anger, I started like torture him mentally or blackmail him. But I was like, nah, that ain't righteous. Nah, I'll leave that alone. But, you know, that was actually a blessing. Because I was just doing, like, I just kick it with them just to, like, shucking job. I don't take none of them seriously. It's not like I want these people in my personal life or I want to hang out with them. Not that I'm better, because characteristically, we're not on the same page. In reality, I really don't want to talk to nobody I can't learn nothing from. Even if it's a guy like, you know, maybe he don't know what I know, but he's an expert plumber. I would talk to him about plumbing. I can't talk to these people about anything. These people are not going to teach me nothing I don't already know or already do. But that's all I got, man. As I say, man, y'all just keep on keeping on up, child.